That's right, boys and girls. You've guessed it. The Dark One has returned. The Masked Man is back. And today we're going to be discussing fraudulent feedback networks on eBay. Because they're ripping you off, they're ripping me off, they're ripping off the American people. And I'm not going to stand for it because bringing criminals to justice is what we do. Here we go. Buckle your seatbelt. It's time to take a ride. Alright. Looking at this site right here, we've got eBay, a Rosetta Stone product, a seller, FSFSD, stands for foolish, if you know what I'm talking about, and I'm going to show you why. Alright, first thing about this, we've got a $600 product listed for $138. That should tell you something. If I was selling this and I bought it and I used it, I'd probably only have one for sale. This guy has 7 available, which is a big red flag. Alright, thirdly, we're going to come down here into the text. We're going to take a look. It says 27 DVD set. Well, guess what, geniuses? Guess what, you honky donkeys? It is a CD-ROM set only. Rosetta Stone does not print a DVD, jackhole. We take a look, the text in the body, and this says foreign language learning with Rosetta Stone, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what, genius? I can go to this site right here, Rosetta Stone's manufacturing site, and take a look and see the exact same text as I'm looking at right here, because you did a simple copy and paste job, jackwagon. If you're just like a little independent seller trying to get rid of something for cheap, you wouldn't even do that because you wouldn't know how to do that, son. You wouldn't know how to do that. Now that I've shown you what you can see on the face page, I'm going to get into the nitty gritty and tell you how it works. Alright, this little guy right here, we call him a zombie account because he was created for the sole purpose of giving good feedback to what we call power sellers. So we're going to go from here, we're going to click on this guy, his little 20 feedbacks. We're going to go to feedback as a buyer. That's what we want. That's how we get to these super seller accounts that are giving, bogus feedback to a little baby buyer. His name is FS, and then we take a look at all these super sellers. Big numbers, 37,000, 53,000, 21,000. Well, geniuses, how is it that companies as big as yourselves and selling as much crap as you do, all of you down the line here, which you'll notice all these names are, Asian in nature, which means, probably coming from overseas, and they're trying to zip our fly down, bend us over, and take advantage of us by selling us bogus product. You got to look at your timestamps here, and what this tells me is this. January 3rd, 2012, which was the day before yesterday, we're looking at 1742, which for you people that don't really do military time, that's 5:42 in the afternoon. Every single one of these huge selling accounts left feedback at the exact same minute of the exact same day, all the way down the list, and there are tons of them. Well, how did they do that if they weren't all networked together and working together and feeding off each other? Well, guess what, geniuses? They couldn't, because they're ridiculous. Alright, so now we looked at the timestamp, we looked at the names, we looked at the super seller accounts. Next step, one of these super sellers. Alright, and we're going to check them out, one of these power sellers. We're going to research this guy and see if he's legit. What we're going to do is we're going to click on his feedback, going to go into his list, and we're going to look at feedback left for others. We're going to go to a specific buyer, DSer756. We are going to expose you, buddy. We're about to pull your pants down for a change here. Alright, so we go to DSer, right? What we're going to look at, no longer a registered user. What that means is this account was created for about 2 days, and it was basically a channel for bringing good feedback to your super seller. Alright, so what I'm talking about is a bogus transaction between Zing Dong Superseller and DSer 756. Okay, so we're going to take a look at DSer, and we're going to research him a little bit to clarify whether or not he's legit. Guessing probably not. Alright, feedback left for others. We're going to scroll down. We're going to take one of these super sellers. We're going to use a different one this time, just to further the point. Jawbone and screen, or whatever. We're going to look at feedback left for others. Okay, so we're going to go here, and then what we're going to do is we are going to come down and we are going to find the feedback that went to the previous zombie account, which should be right here. DSer 756. Okay, so if you're following me, and look what we have here. All right, this is Jawbone Screen. The username Jawbone Screen. Okay, who's this huge super seller yet again. All right, and just like Zing Dong, we were able to find, this small zombie account. Well, here it is again, doing business with this huge other super seller. All right, what does that mean? That means that basically these things just cycle through. The DS or zombie account created for 2 days to give good feedback, give you a false impression that the super seller account is actually a good account that will sell you something that is legitimate, which it totally doesn't do, and it's not. Excuse me 1 second. Too many Marlboros, too many shots of bourbon. It's just the way it goes. The dark one, always riding the night train, if you know what I'm talking about. We're basically going to go to all feedback. We've got Jawbone here, which we just came from, and then there's Kang Digital. So these are both, and then here's Zing Dong. They're all linked, and they're all back and forth to create this false promise. Just to give you another example of the type of transactions that are going on, we're going to go back, Zing Dong, and just look at items for sale, and you're going to see $1.99, $1.99, $1.99, 0, 99 cents. And basically what that means is low currency transactions. The hardware never moves anywhere. This is just a computer program in a network that's running that, it switches feedback back and forth between the power sellers and the zombie accounts. And there's no exchange. Basically eBay makes, a little bit of currency on these transactions. And what they do is they bank the feedback. Then they put up, if we go back to the very beginning, this little zombie account, and this is the way that they do it. The power seller accounts sell the little crap, and to the zombie accounts get enough feedback to where they're reputable. 20 feedback at 100% positive, so you think that they can be trusted. Then they post something expensive, then they sell it to you, and you're getting product that is, you guessed it, not genuine. And it's either not going to work, or maybe it works for a little bit. Maybe one disc works. Doesn't matter. The bottom line is, and this may or may not be the fact, but eBay's percentage off of a sale of 138 is a pretty hefty little chunk of change. I'm guessing around $20. And maybe they know about this, maybe they don't, but there's a ton of activity, and it's pretty easy to pick up on. And eBay doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot about it, as far as from where this guy's sitting.